Hey guys, how's it going? Colby here, CEO and founder of Marquee Media and My Agency Builder. And in this quick training, we're going to go over how you can set up voice flows and messaging flows for your clients using Twilio. So this is an awesome thing. You can actually charge clients anywhere from a set setup fee with a reoccurring payment, or even just do a yearly cost to manage their phone number and all their voice and messaging flow. In this quick training, I just want to show you guys how easy it is to actually set up an automated voice flow. And let's go ahead and get started. So first off, you're going to want to go ahead and create a Twilio account. Once you create your Twilio account, you will want to select your phone number. I'm not going to go through all the basic steps of picking your phone number. It should be really self-explanatory. But once you have your phone number selected, you can go to your phone numbers tab, and you'll see the option to configure your voice and your messaging. So to configure these, you're going to need to go into the Twilio Studio. So you can find the Twilio Studio on the left-hand menu. If you don't see it right on the left-hand menu, you can go ahead and select all products and services, and you can see the Studio dropdown. And once you select your Studio dropdown, you'll have the ability to add a new workflow. I'm going to go ahead and dive into the current voice flow that I've already created, and I'll actually demonstrate you guys how to create one from scratch as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this existing voice flow we have here. And this voice flow goes from a trigger of an incoming call. Once the incoming call comes in, it then gathers input. So that means it wants to know whether the user pressed 1 or pressed 2. So what you can do here is you can do two different things. You can have your client record a audio file of an introduction. That's what I had this client do. And I'll show you guys how I link to this. So this is just a HTTP link directly to the MP3 that we created. So if we go over to our hosting, we can see all we did is went into our file manager. We went into our web in the public HTML, and we created a new folder called voice. And within the voice file, we added our greetings and our thank you. So this voice flow has two different options. So it has the greeting, and then it also has the thank you after they press number 2. So what we're going to do is go ahead and copy this link. So you can see it would just be coachbyad.com/voice, and then you would put in your greeting.mp3. And what you want to do is go back to your gather input tab, and you want to paste that URL right here in the URL or audio file. Now, if you don't have the ability to record any content, or your client doesn't want to do this, you can actually just go to the say a message, and it'll give a default voiceover repeating the message. I think the higher quality option is to have your clients go ahead and record a quick voiceover. It's very professional, and this is very simple to set up. So once we have that, the first trigger, so our first trigger is our incoming call to gather input, and then we set up another trigger for split keys. So this is going to detect whether they press 1 or 2. And then we also set another split trigger for speech recognition. So maybe they didn't press 1 or they didn't press 2, but they said speak with, or they said talk with, or they said one of the keywords that you asked them to within your gather input tab. So what you can do from there is now you can add for this workflow specifically, what we have is the user presses 1 to get connected directly to the client, and we press 2 to get sent a message to the calendar's client, and then it sends them another a voiceover saying we successfully sent your text message. And you can actually set this up both ways. So if the text message fails to go through, what you can do is have a voiceover that says, I apologize, your message didn't go through. Try again by pressing 1 or 2. For this case, we don't have that set up. We just have after successful sent, we go ahead and play the message that says, thanks, I went and had to send you a calendar link, blah, blah, blah. So very simple workflow, but it can be very powerful. It can really help automate things for your clients. So let's go ahead and dive into the studio again. Let's do this from scratch. So starting from your studio, you want to go ahead and create a new flow. And I'm going to call this test flow just for the purpose of this. And you have different options. So you can do a start from scratch. You can do an IVR phone tree, which is what we're going to demonstrate. You can do an SMS chatbot. You can do appointment reminders. All these awesome things are just built directly into the Twilio workflow. So I'm going to go ahead and click our IVR phone tree right here and click next. And you can see this sets up everything that you just saw on our other page, minus the minor customizations. So you can see we still have our split speech recognition. We still have our split key. And then we have the option to connect the call, and they actually have two options to connect the call. In this demonstration, they are doing a press 1 to connect to sales, press 2 to do support. I'm going to rebuild the entire workflow that I just created for this client just to demonstrate step-by-step how we made all of it happen. So what I did is first we start with our gather input tab. You want to make sure you do this in order so you don't get confused. It's easy to get just confused. So make sure you're organizing your workflow so it looks proper to you and it just makes sense. So select your gather input. Instead of saying a message, I want to go ahead and play a pre-recorded message. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to go back up to coachbyid.com/voice, and then we're going to say greeting.mp3 because that's the mp3 file that we updated. Do note that the file does need to be an mp3. I personally had this client record the voiceover on his phone and had him send me a voice message. So what we did from there is we had to convert the file from an OGG file to an mp3 file. So you can do that using any online converters, or if you have some kind of software built in your computer, you can use that as well, whatever's more convenient for you. For me, it was easy just to go to Google and type in convert my OGG file to mp3. So that's what I did. And then I came over here to the URL. And I've already got it typed in here, so I'll show you guys. Right here, just coachbyid/voice/greeting mp3. And you can set the number of loops. You can set the amount of time that it stops gathering data. So this means it's going to hang up after it's finished. You want to set this to something proper. I would say 10 seconds and then maybe set the loop to twice. Just in case they didn't hear it the first time, give them a couple seconds. I'll actually do 7 seconds. It gives them a chance to repeat it and hear what they said again. So we can go ahead and save this. And now we want to, so this voice message says press 1 to connect to the call, press 2 to send a text. So how do we do that? If we want them to press 1 to forward the call, what we do is, that's already set up here. So let me go ahead and remove one of these. Wrong one. You can see how easy this is, just drag and drop to connect things. So if you want the user to press 1, you select the 1 and drag it to your connect to call. This means when the user presses 1, it'll connect a call. And now what we want to do is send a text message, right? So we need to delete our thing over here. And we also need to change these two. So this is sales and support. We don't want that. We want to say talk or speak. And then we want to scroll down to where the support one is. And we want to say, if they say book or calendar or something along those lines, we want to go ahead and forward them to sending the message. So let's go ahead and save that. And now I want you guys to go back to your widget library here. We want to scroll down and select send message. So we select send message, drag it over here. And now we can connect the our second tab here to send the message. And we can connect our number 2 from our split keys over to send a message as well. And then we want to confirm that the message was sent. We want to let them know that there is a message that just came to their phone. So now we want to go drag a say and play. So this is under the voice. Say play, want to drag that over. And then we want to just connect the successfully sent to this. So like I said earlier, if you want to have a message that says, I apologize, it wasn't successfully sent, you can do that by doing the failed send. But for now, we just want to demonstrate really quickly what we just completed. So let's go ahead and double click our say to play. So instead of saying the message, like I said, this client already has a message ready to play. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And we're going to say thank you.mp3 because that's the file we just uploaded to our file manager over here. And we can go ahead and save that. And then always make sure you click publish. It won't let you publish if there's any errors, so you can go through the entire message and you can see any of these little exclamation points means there's a configuration error that needs to be fixed. So we can just fix that error by typing something right here. We can say, hey, this is my calendar. I typed a little bit more out in the actual one, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So now we can go ahead and save and publish. And there we go. Now we have a successful workflow where the user calls. They can either press 1 or 2 to either get connected directly or get sent a text message with a booking calendar. And then after the booking calendar is sent, they get a thank you message. So really quick training. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop in the comments, or this should be posted on the My Agency Builder mini course section. So feel free to shoot me a message on the platform or however you need to. And I'll see you guys in the next training.